Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of my YouTube channel, The Coasters in Perspective. My name is Liam, and I'm 13 years old. Now, to start this video off, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and how I became a coaster enthusiast. Now, I love roller coasters, wood, steel, large to small. I love them so much, and I'm so obsessed, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Now, before I tell you how I became a coaster enthusiast and my coaster story, why don't you hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and leave a comment on the next video. Since this video is probably only going to get like 3 views, your comment will probably be used in our next video, and I'll shout you out if it does. Now, have a nice time and enjoy the vid. Now, how I became a coaster enthusiast is pretty simple. So, last year, 2020, I know, right? I was on my way to my grandparents' house, and at my grandparents' house, I got a game called Planet Coaster. Now I started playing it more and more, and I started watching some tutorial videos on YouTube. And little did I know that the tutorial videos I was getting from was Theme Park Worldwide himself. Now go check out his channel, awesome videos. But over time, different coaster videos started going up on my recommended, and a big one of them was Airtime Thrills. Airtime Thrills was really the person who inspired me to become a coaster enthusiast, and currently, no offense to anyone else, is my favorite enthusiast on YouTube. I love his videos, and let's help him get to 60K as of now. Now, the reason I'm playing some Incredible Hulk video in the background is because, why not? And let me just shout out that this footage is from Airtime Thrills, and just want to mention again to give him a shout out. Now, I have other interests than just roller coasters. I'm not some boring kid in the middle of Boston, Massachusetts. I love hockey, and not to mention that I grew up in Tampa Bay, Florida. Now, I only went to Busch Gardens once, but that was when I was really GP, so the only thing I rode was the kiddie coaster there. I'm not sure what its name is, but I'm pretty sure it's themed to Sesame Street. I've always wanted to go to Busch Gardens again, and as the time I'm recording this, I am in Florida. Though I'm in the complete other side, so tomorrow, or Saturday, July 10th, I am going to Fun Spot America in Orlando. I'm going to have a separate review on that coming in the future, so stay tuned. Now, another interest that I have is I love hockey. I've loved the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I've loved them for as long as I can remember. And I'm super stoked that they just won back-to-back Stanley Cups. Now, what I actually want to do to start off this video, or to start off in the middle of the video, is give a review on Canobie Lake Park in Salem, New Hampshire. This is my home park, and it's a beautiful park with some great landscaping and some great attractions in it. I'm not sure if you've heard of this park, but it's in Salem, New Hampshire, and it's just a great park overall. So I'm going to be reviewing this park. I'm going to split this review up into 3 categories. First of all, you have presentation. For presentation, I am going to go over theming, landscaping, and architecture. Then you have roller coasters. Now, I just want to talk about the coaster collection and each individual coaster itself. I'm not going to go too in depth because I may do a review in the future. And I also, in the final part of this presentation of this video, will be the flat ride collection. This will also include different water rides such as their log flume and the Tea Party. Boston Tea Party, which is their Hopkins Shoot the Chutes. Now, to start off with presentation, this park is very well presented, as it has some great landscaping and some great architecture all around. I want to give a big shout out to Policy Bond Log Flume, as it has some decent theming, and I love the logs itself. It's a pretty decent ride, and it's pretty beautiful. And it also has some Easter eggs written around, since it's called Policy Pond, that was the original name for Canobie Lake, as it is. So, it's a little bit of an Easter egg. Now, I also want to give a few shout outs to the pirate ship flat ride, as it has some decent pirate theming. Now, and the Mine of Lost Souls area. This area is really cool as it has some decent haunted mine themes. Now, for the presentation category, I am going to give it a 10 out of 10. This park is very, very well presented, and it deserves this 10 out of 10 very nicely. Now, moving into roller coasters, they have 4 roller coasters at this park. At this park, you have a pretty unremarkable kiddie coaster and an aero corkscrew, as shown in this footage. And also, they have a Gerstlauer Eurofighter and an old John Allen wooden roller coaster. Now, to start off with the Yankee Cannonball, like I just said, it's a very good wooden roller coaster, as it has some decent pops of airtime, and although it is decently rough. Now, I will be doing a review on this coaster sometime in the future once I get more rides on it, as I've only gotten 1 ride. Now, next we have Canobie Corkscrew. You saw the footage just earlier, but this is an aero corkscrew model, and it's alright. It has a pretty good first drop with a surprising ejector pop, but other than that, it's definitely got some pretty bad aero transitions, and will definitely leave your head in some pain after a few rides. Then you have the Gerstlauer Eurofighter Untamed. Now, Untamed is an okay ride, as it has a pretty good first drop, as it provides a good pop of ejector airtime in all rows. Also, it is kind of rough, and it's a Gerstlauer Eurofighter 320 model. That means it includes the additional helix. This coaster is pretty similar to Hydrus and Adrenaline Peak. Both of those don't have the helix, but the thing with Untamed is that it does have OTSRs, over the shoulder restraints, which is pretty bad, but I don't think the park would spend the money on getting those fixed with lap bars. Now, this ride is decently presented, as it has a cool wood theme. Now, for the roller coaster category, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It definitely has some weak spots and holes in its lineup, as it only has 4 roller coasters, the park itself, but the roller coasters are all decent in their right. Now, moving on to the flat ride collection. This park has a decent amount of flat rides, and they're all pretty good in their own right. I'm going to give a few shout outs here of their flat rides. These flat rides range from small kiddie family rides to extreme thrill rides. Now, the park has a gyroscope coaster called the Extreme Spin, and this coaster, well, not coaster, but flat ride, is mostly down, as it does suffer from lots of downtime, but it's fun. Then you have the park's drop tower, Star Blaster. Star Blaster is an okay SNS 40. Why to say 40? I have 40 free spin in my head. Is an SNS drop tower, which is alright. It has some good pops of flow to airtime going down. Then, our final shout out for the flat rides is the Policy Pond Log Flume, which I guess isn't really a flat ride. It's more of a water ride, as it shows. This log flume, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is a very good log flume, as it was built by Hopkins, and it has some decent theming and some great landscaping. I also want to give a shout out to the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party is a great Hopkins shoot-the-shoot ride that gets you absolutely soaked. I would dub this, just like Canobie Coaster, the wettest ride in New England, and it's themed to the old colonial Boston. This is a great ride, and the drop is actually covered in a fiberglass tunnel, which is pretty interesting. And it has some decent theming with some different paintings in the cute line. Now, for the flat ride collection of Canobie Lake Park, I am going to give it 8 out of 10. This park has some decent flat rides ranging from extreme thrill rides to really little flat rides for little kids. Now, the final score of this park comes to an 8 out of 10. This park definitely has a different audience, and it mostly has an audience for the little ones and families, though it doesn't really offer much for coaster enthusiasts. But I'm glad that this is my home park, as it has some great visuals and it's right on a lake. Now, I hope you enjoyed this first video and this review on Canobie Lake Park. I hope you subscribe to the Coasters in Perspective channel, and I hope you listen to the Coasters in Perspective podcast, which will be coming out soon. Now, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.